What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another About Teams video. In today's NBA segment, we're going to be recapping the two games that happened yesterday, and they're both entertaining in different ways. First, we'll start off with our hometown team, the Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers. Matched up game two. Game one, kind of a Boston blowout. This game, there were some similarities and differences. I felt like in that Miami Heat game two, where Miami Heat kind of stole that one, but there are also some differences that I think if I'm Boston, I'm a little bit worried about because Miami's was just a historic 3-point shooting night. You can't really expect that like that if they do that and you only lose by like it was like 7 points. Okay, like it will happen. It's just one night. Tonight, Cleveland shot hot from three. Probably won't be sustainable at the rate they shot at. I think it was like almost 50%, if not 50%, before the kind of bench players came in. But Cleveland's defense can give Boston fits. And I kind of, in the preview, mentioned if Jaylen Brown is going to be like himself, Boston will win. In game one, it was like 32 points, very efficient.
Yep.
Tonight, struggled from three. Derek White struggled from three. And Jason Tatum just really hasn't found his groove yet in the playoffs. Like we've talked about before, like we don't really care what happens with him until like the bigger stages, like against the Knicks and whoever they face in the finals. That's like Jason Tatum's real test, but they're going to need him here at least one of these games just to drop, a 40 ball or like how we were texting, just like, assert himself into this game. This game, he was all right, a little bit more aggressive, but still just kind of disappointed with the way he's playing.
Yeah. This has kind of been the Celtics MO over the course of really the past 2 years. It's live or die by the three. And last night they died by the three. They shot 23%, which is just like, that's just ugly. Like I feel like at some point, you gotta stop and do something else, but that's just not how they play. And I think they went 0 for 8 in the third quarter, and that's really kind of when Cleveland pulled away. Got like their 20-point lead because, of course, they're taking, like you said, really efficient shots. They shot like 55% from the field. So they were very efficient. Donovan Mitchell did his thing per usual. That's what I was worried about. And just when that stuff happens, your superstars like Tatum or like Brown need to rise up to that and kind of answer his shots. Because if you just kind of let him go on a run and take over the game, then you're out of it. And that's what happened last night.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's going to come down to, like, what Donovan Mitchell's going to bring you, especially in the playoffs. He's been known as a playoff elevator, unless he plays Jalen Brunson, of course, because for whatever reason, Jalen Brunson's had his number. But it's about what everyone does around him. Evan Mobley, 21 points on offense. If he can do that, especially with Jared Allen out, because Jared Allen may come back soon. And if he does, obviously that's more defense, more boards. So Evan Mobley did his thing. Darius Garland was efficient, which may have been the biggest thing, 4 or 5 from 3-point range. We don't even need him to be – Cleveland doesn't even need him to be that. But if he can be like, 2 of 5 or like 3 of 6, like – just shooting at an efficient clip because over the playoffs, he's been very inconsistent. When he's good, though, Cleveland has a great shot at winning. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, I still like Boston. I'm slightly concerned because, like you said, they just kept forcing threes. It's like, this ain't working. Like, get a drive, try and create some fouls, free throw line shots, but they couldn't. Like, they're a great 3-point shooting team, which is why they won 64 regular season games. But when it gets mucked up, this isn't a regular season game where you're going to have more open shots. Like Cleveland's going to be contesting every one. They have the length with Evan Mobley, Isaac Okoro, who's been playing great. It's just going to come down to can they, this is where they miss Kristaps in a way, sort of, to create that extra offense. But it'll be interesting. I still like Boston in the series, but there is some pause for concern, I think, takeaways.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland's 3-0 at home in the playoffs, so like, it's not like you're just
actually got 4 now with that game 7. They won all 4.
Oh, was it 4?
Yeah, they won all 4 at home, lost all 3 at Orlando. Yeah.
Okay, 4-0 then. I mean, you're not exactly going into an environment where it's easy to win. Like they're gonna record. They're gonna want to probably at least just to have the series go 2-2. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be a dogfight.
It'll be interesting because Boston's such a great team. But Cleveland's been great at home so far this playoffs. It'll be a good battle to see how they respond because Miami had that historic 3-point shooting night, and obviously Cleveland's a better team than Miami, but Boston came out the next game and boat raced Miami. Basically all the next 3 games. So
Also last night I think was the first night we saw in a while in the playoffs where Derek White did not play good. He had 10
he's not going to shoot. It was something that felt like 1 of 8 from 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that bad. But like you said though, if Tatum doesn't step up, they're going to need Derek White to be shooting the way he was, because some could argue on the other side he was shooting 71% true shooting in some areas from the court. Will that be sustainable? Probably not.
Yeah.
But we know what Derek White's been all year, efficient shooter. So we'll see. With that being said, though, I think we still like Boston, but it's some pauses for concern, and it's mainly on the coaching side for me. Adjustments kind of seems like there are none. It was go 3-pointers anyways, even though we're ice cold.
They're trying to shoot themselves back into the game.
Yeah,
it's not working.
That's just not what you're going to do against a good defense like Cleveland. They're not going to leave you open. With that being said, so we knew that the second game, much better response from the Mavericks in this series. What I mainly wanted to see was just more efficiency from 3-point range. Luka Doncic was that this game. And what did they need to do? Take advantage of the Josh Giddey minutes on the court. I know plus minuses and everything, but it's something, kind of your impact on the game. Everyone on OKC starters, besides SGA, who was only a -5 or something. Josh Giddey was a -20. Everyone else in the starting lineup was a plus. So just being able to take advantage of those minutes alone is a huge thing, because I still don't know why he starts for that team. I think he's low-key garbage. The Mavericks, PJ Washington breakout game, defense all over the place. SGA is going to do his buckets, and even though he wasn't efficient from the field, Kyrie was getting some passes and just hands in traffic to try and not make it easy, because SGA loves to go to that jumper spot, and you just want to make life difficult for him. It's going to be a good series still. I mean, obviously OKC was in it until the end. It's just going to come down to SGA, Jalen Williams, can the shooters off the bench like Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace. But I just love the experience of Dallas here. Luka Doncic, I think they got the best player on the court. And if Kyrie doesn't struggle again, I feel like Dallas, has a good chance to win this series. But shout out to the Mavs, man. You take it you'll take the split 1-1 against the number 1 seed in the West.
Definitely. From what I saw, it kind of seemed like it was a game of, it was very back and forth to start. And then I think Dallas kind of just went on a run. I know PJ Washington made 7 threes, so he was a huge part of it. And that's kind of why they just pulled away. They started making shots. And going back to Josh Giddey, he only had 10 minutes. So I think
it is a minus.
He's not.
It is a -20. I mean, I don't even know why he's starting. I would put Isaiah Joe, literally SGA basically runs point guard. So I would just put Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace in. I mean, that's what makes OKC so good, though, is they're deep. So if Josh Giddey doesn't play, OKC will probably win a couple of these games. It's been fun to watch, though. And it's going to be a battle. Under a young team, but they act like a mature team, and they're in playoff form. This is their first loss of the playoffs, but Dallas has got the experience. They're battle tested. Even if they get slapped in the mouth game 1 like they did against the Clippers, just lose by 20 like they did against the Thunder too. It was great to just see them bounce back and Luka to do his thing. I know that everyone's playing through injuries, but Luka's seems to be bothering him a lot. But he showed yesterday didn't affect him too much. Who do you think wins the series, or are you still rocking on KC?
after last night, I don't know. I mean, Dallas is probably going to ride the momentum back to home court, but I think OKC is going to steal 1 out of 2 in Dallas, which means I'm still taking OKC in 7.
My prediction is it's going to come down to Game 4. I think Dallas rides momentum, wins Game 3. It's going to come down to does OKC respond and steal Game 4 in Dallas, or if Dallas goes up 3-1, I think the series is over. But we'll see. I mean, both teams great. That game was fun basketball. OKC's environment is fun at home, so it should be good. I'm excited. And then is there anything else you want to add to that game? Or
No. I think we touched on all the points. We can do a little preview of. We got 2 games tonight or 3? Celtics don't play tonight,
2.
right?
Nah, yeah, just 2 tonight. We got Indiana versus New York. New York, this is a must-win for Indiana. They're back home. Yep. New York's banged up. No OG Anunoby tonight. Jalen Brunson obviously dealing with that foot. I think I like Indiana tonight, even though I like the Knicks winning the series in 5. I don't know how long OG's out for, but the injuries are starting to pile up for the Knicks. Indiana's been competitive in the first 2 games in New York, so I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be a battle, and Indiana's desperate.
I said Indiana last game, and I kind of made me look stupid. So, but I mean, with the injuries, it's tough to not say Indiana. I mean, especially if Brunson doesn't play. Like, if Indiana doesn't win the game and both of those guys aren't playing, they're done.
Indiana's getting swept.
They might, they're getting cooked in 4. But I don't know. I don't know how well Brunson, because like we saw injuries affect everybody. Like they affected Luka. He didn't look like himself. So, I mean, I know Brunson gutted out the second half of the last game, but we'll see how it affects him this game.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Should be interesting. I think the Pacers have to win 1. The way Tyrese played last game, if he can even replicate that in some sort of way, I think Indiana's in good hands. If Pascal Siakam can do his thing as well. So that's the first one. And then we got Nuggets, defending champion, going to Minnesota tonight, 9:30 tip, so another late tip.
If the T-Wolves take tonight, they're sweeping.
Yeah. I think I would like to say Denver wins 1, but I don't know what. I have confidence in our team that the home atmosphere has been lit from Minnesota, at least the first 2 in Phoenix. Now you're heading back home, second round, so more deep playoff run now, and you're up 2-0 in the series. I just can't wait to see that fan atmosphere. But Denver, is going to punch back. I mean, the defending champs, if they go out in 4 and they're all blowouts, then I'm shocked, So I think Denver's going to have some sort of punch, but I think the Timberwolves got their own punches to throw as well. It's going to be a battle, I think. I think they're going to split in Minnesota. I think it's going to be Minnesota 1 game, Denver the other. Not sure which way it goes. Maybe Denver wins tonight, Minnesota wins game 4. I'm just excited to watch some good basketball, hopefully, and just continue the defense the Timberwolves have been playing. I think we're hopefully in good hands, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the Timberwolves defense has been so good that, I mean, we saw how rattled Jamal Murray was throwing a heat pack onto the floor. Because
can't believe he didn't get suspended for that.
No, that I think is ridiculous. Because I mean, didn't Pat Beverly just get suspended 4 games for like throwing a basketball at a fan or something like that?
Yeah, and then basically Jamal Murray threw a heating. Yeah, he threw a heating pack on the court where the players for both the Nuggets and Timberwolves were playing. Anyone could have slipped. Threw a towel on the floor that just missed. Was doing the money sign to the refs, and he got fined the same as Rudy Gobert just doing the money sign alone. So it's like, basically anyone can throw shit on the court, and you get the same consequences you would for just like taunting. So great. But obviously they don't want to suspend him, I think, just for the playoff market. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens as long as, you play scrappy. And the refs, one thing I don't want to see is Scott Foster ref in this game. I know everyone kind of hates Scott Foster, but he tries to make the game about himself. Always like going to the scoreboard to review a regular common foul. Is that technical? So, and the Timberwolves don't really match up with that kind of because they're a physical team and they like to get physical. It's not even anything intentionally. Like, sometimes they just foul hard. Or sometimes it's just good defense and they'll call a foul just because, Jamal Murray might cry his way to the line. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping just good basketball from both teams. Both teams are pretty, obviously the defending champs. Timberwolves, 56-win team. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited, obviously, as a Timberwolves fan.
I think that crowd is going to rattle the Nuggets, especially Jamal Murray after seeing, how he's held up. I think they're going to rattle.
They better have some chance going.
They will. I bet you they will first 5 minutes of the game. They're going to be booing him when he gets the ball. They're going to be on him.
Yeah, I know. If we're able to win this, man, it's and then go to the next round. I was telling people I may have to fly out for the next round. It's gonna be
for the Western Conference Final.
Yeah, just because this is special to watch, man. It's
do a little live stream podcast from the game, live reactions.
That would be crazy. Probably we were planning, like you said, doing a live stream as the playoffs. Maybe the conference finals. That'll be fun. Hopefully the Celtics and Timberwolves are both in it, both of our teams.
That'd be sweet.
But yeah, so that's a preview of tonight's games. Should be two good ones. That's the beauty of those playoffs. I mean, you don't have the garbage teams, and then you don't have the fraud teams really in the NBA playoffs left too much. There's no Phoenix Suns or just not teams that just made the playoffs to make the playoffs, or
Sixers,
the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah,
I mean, Sixers put up a great first round, so I'm not even mad at them. But the 1 versus 8 matchups are all.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater on Philly sports.
Yeah, I respect it. You guys stick to what you believe in. Boston Philly rivalry. With that being said, that'll wrap up today's video, and we'll have a lot of games to talk about Monday in our NBA recap. With that being said, thank you guys all for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.